Hey everyone, I'm Rachel and I have hamsters, and this week I wanted to try doing some homemade chews. I've seen a lot of people do this with wooden chews where they use flour and water to put some seeds around the wooden chews and encourage their hamster to chew a little more. So I wanted to give this a try. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm learning as I go. I used some oat flour there. I mostly use that because I just wanted a small bag of flour. I don't personally do a lot of baking, so I didn't have flour around in the house. And at first I made it with this more watery consistency, and it worked okay, but I found it was harder to get the seeds to stick. The seeds I used were just from my Higgins Sunburst seeds that is part of their main feed, and it didn't quite stick as well with that more watery based version. So I tried again, and this time I added some more flour and I made it more like a paste. And the sticks I'm using are applewood sticks. I think I got these at Petco probably forever ago. My hamsters are just not into chewing wooden chews, really. I think this must be something about dwarf hamsters. They're just not big chewers. They chew on the whimsies and that's about it. Lately I have noticed that some of them have been, or Shirley was chewing specifically on one of her glass bowls that holds her sand, and so I wanted to give her another type of chew to see if that would keep her from chewing on the glass. So that's what motivated me to try this. I'm not really sure it worked, but we'll see. So once I finished that, I left them in the fridge overnight to make sure they got really nice and dry. And I didn't want to leave them out because I just wasn't sure if bacteria would grow. This is Laverne with hers, and she kind of like just took all the outsides off. And she actually seemed to like this a lot. I noticed when I cleaned her nest a few days later that she had pulled this stick underneath into her nest with her. So it didn't look like she had chewed on it a ton, but she obviously enjoyed it enough that she brought it home with her. So that's a good sign. I would say what Laverne is doing here is what I saw most of my hamsters do, which is that they were just kind of picking off the seeds and the good stuff from the outside of the stick. But at least it was hopefully something fun for them to do and a little bit different. You'll notice Laverne has a little pinkness around her ear. She has some sort of infection, or I'm not exactly sure, a lump there. So I am seeing a vet in a few days about that. And we're keeping an eye, just in case you're worried. I am too. This is Shirley with her stick. And, you know, again, she did the same thing as Laverne. She picked off all the little bits. She didn't seem as into it. I have to keep kind of giving it to her when I see her chewing on something else. But it's something. I've come to the conclusion that I think dwarf hamsters, and then even further robos, are just not super chewers. I always keep a whimsy in their enclosures because whimsies are the one thing they seem to really chew. But I'm trying to encourage other things. Here is Sophia with hers, and she kind of brought hers into this little nestled corner here, which made it a little hard for me to film. But again, she picked off the little bits, but she did seem to chew at it a tiny bit. Sophia's a little bit more of a chewer than maybe Steven. She's got the tiniest little mouth though, so I don't know how much damage she can really do. Anyway, so this was my first attempt at this. I'll probably do it again to sort of keep them interested and active and chewing. If anyone has any tips or experiences to share, please leave me a comment below. I always love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.